Hey Sozo, happy Holy Week. I hope you are finding ways to be intentional and to celebrate Jesus the King, who gave his life for his people this week. If you haven't heard the message from Sunday, if you weren't able to be with us for our gathering on Sunday, you can find that on this channel. You can go back and watch it at any point. Also a reminder that on Friday you'll get an email. On Friday morning you'll get an email with a link to a video that's our Good Friday video, so that we can celebrate Good Friday and the cross together even while we're separate. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be on this channel, or you'll get an email about it, and hopefully you can find a way to incorporate that into the way that your family is celebrating Good Friday, to reflect on the cross and to remember the cross. I think there's part of celebrating Holy Week that feels, while it feels big and important and like we should be engaging it, I think I'm also aware that there's part of it that feels like, how am I really supposed to be doing that? Like, what does it even look like on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Saturday? What does it really look like to celebrate Holy Week? And so I was just reading this morning in Luke's Gospel the passages that are directly following what we talked about on Sunday, where Jesus rides into Jerusalem as the King. And I just wanted to share an encouragement that I found in there with you, and maybe give you an idea of how Jesus spent Holy Week 2,000 years ago, and how that could relate to how we spend Holy Week. So in Luke chapter 20, right after Jesus rides into town, Luke chapter 20 verse 1 says, "One day as Jesus was teaching the people in the temple courts and proclaiming the good news, the chief priests and teachers of the law came up to him, and they asked him a question. They tried to trap him, they tried to trick him, but Jesus was teaching in the temple courts, proclaiming the good news, proclaiming the gospel." And then you fast forward to Luke chapter 21, and verse 37 says, "Each day Jesus was teaching at the temple, and each evening he went out to spend the night on a hill called the Mount of Olives. And all the people came early in the morning to hear him at the temple." And so Jesus rides into town on Sunday, and he dies a gruesome, horrible death on Friday. And he's raised from the dead on the following Sunday. But every day in between that first Sunday and that Friday, he's teaching at the temple courts. He's proclaiming the good news to people who will listen. It would have been easy for Jesus to say that he's at the end of his ministry, that he's going to die and rescue the entire world. He's going to save everyone from their sins on Friday. But every day he was actively out proclaiming the gospel to people. That's how Jesus spent his Holy Week. And so I was challenged by that and convicted by that as I read it this morning, and just wanted to pass it along to you as an encouragement or a challenge, or however it comes across to you. What would it look like for you to spend your week, the rest of it, this week, intentionally proclaiming the gospel to people that you know? There is no better. I think sometimes we can get bogged down with what seems like it's the most urgent thing, the most urgent need that the world has. And right now, the most urgent need that it seems like that the world has is a vaccine or a cure or a medicine for a virus. But this week, we're reminded that while that is a need that the world has, this week we're reminded that there is no more urgent need in the world than to know the gospel and to know the name of Jesus, to have it proclaimed and believed and received by the people that you know and love. And so I just want to encourage you, as you think about how you're spending the next few days, to think about how you can proclaim the gospel to the people that you know and the people that you love. And then I want to remind you that in many ways there has never been an easier year to invite someone to church on Easter than this year. All you have to do is text them a link to a YouTube video. Doesn't matter where they live. It doesn't matter what their plans are for that day. They can watch the video anytime they want. And so in many cases, it's really the easiest year you'll ever have inviting someone to church for Easter. And so spend the next few days praying and asking God who he would have you invite, that they might hear the gospel, who he might have you proclaim the gospel to, and then invite them to gather with us on Easter. I'm excited to celebrate Good Friday and celebrate Easter with you all. I miss you guys terribly. I can't wait to see you again sometime soon. Let me know again if you have any questions or thoughts, or if there's anything that I can do to help you. And watch your email. You should get something on Friday with a Good Friday devotional. And then we'll gather together again on Sunday, celebrate the resurrection. All right, we'll see you guys later.